Good morning. I've locked the dog inside. This is Velma, Hagar with the barking dog and the tweeting bird. And the neighbors that are always fixing something. And the gardeners that are always mowing the grass. Right when I decided to come on my thing. Okay, well, here I am. And I've got the dog locked in the house, and I don't know what the bird might do, and we might hear something, but so what, huh? Now, what I wanted to do this morning, I want to encourage you. If you've been praying about something and you've not seen the answer, don't give up. One of the best things about getting old is that you can look back and see things in retrospect. So when I look back on my life, I'm going to tell you the most important things that ever happened to me took years to get after I prayed. Prayer, I don't know about you guys, but I find that prayer hardly ever happens right away if it's something for yourself. Now, praying for people that are sick and stuff like that, this is different. But when you have a desire of your heart, or you have something you're believing for, honestly, it takes years. It takes years. I know it sounds horrible, but you know what? And maybe it only takes a year. Maybe it only takes 6 months. But many times it takes 6 years. 20 years. Why I said 6. Maybe your thing's going to come in 6 years. Slip of the tongue. Very few people watch this. If you're watching it, yours is probably coming in 6 years. Anyway, okay. Enough silliness. You know, I'm going to tell you a couple things that happened to me. And then I'm going to give you some examples of how God operates. First of all, I live at Ironwood Country Club. And they built this country club about 45 years ago. And when I first saw it, I went, I want to live up there someday. Now, at that time, I was a young mother with 3 children. I could barely make ends meet. There was no way I was going to ever get a place at Ironwood Country Club. But I began to ask God, well, I want a place at Ironwood Country Club. I want to live at Ironwood Country Club. Someday I'm going to live at Ironwood Country Club. And I said that over and over and over. You know how long it took me to get to Ironwood Country Club after they built it? 20 years. 20 years of believing it, never giving up, always saying one day. I didn't know how I was going to get here, but one day I'm going to live at Ironwood Country Club. Okay, that was one example. The other example, when the children's father left me, I was 35 years old, and I had 3 children. I did not want the divorce. He ran off with another woman. I would say saying that makes you seem like you're not very, very attractive. But at any rate, he did that, and I wanted to get married again. I wanted a husband so bad. And you know how long it took me to get a husband? 25 years. It took me 25 years. I finally got married again when I was 59. And I had the most. Now, when something takes that long to come about, it is ripe. It is beautiful. It is everything you could ever want. Okay? And on and on and on. I asked God to be debt-free for probably 40 years before it happened. There's just so many things like that in my life that I can relate to. And I want to encourage you. You know, I relate it to, I think I've told you my pecan story before, but you're going to hear it again. When you plant something in the ground, you plant it, you tend it, and it grows one day, and you harvest, okay? Now, harvesting to me is like prayer getting answered. Okay, so you put your seed in the ground. Some seeds grow right away, like a radish seed. In 3 weeks from the time you put the seed in the ground, you have a radish. You pull it up, you eat it, and it's gone. No more radishes comes out of that one hole. 1 seed per radish. Okay, but then you have another kind of harvest, and this is the kind of harvest I love. You put a pecan tree seed in the ground. It takes 7 years before that seed produces a harvest. 7 years! But you know what? And then it produces a harvest the rest of your life. You continue to get pecans. Okay. Can you see the correlation here? So there's a scripture that says money quickly gotten is quickly lost. I feel the same way about everything. You know, when things take time, when they have to germinate, so to speak, they produce a beautiful harvest. So when you are praying for something, don't go out there and dig your seed up and say, well, this didn't sprout, that didn't work. Don't say that. Because if you waver, you get nothing from God. So hang in there with your prayers, okay? It says you have not because you ask not. And then you ask and you don't get it because you consume it on your lusts. So you want to ask. It would be like planting the seed again. You plant the seed. You don't just plant it and be done with it. You plant it. You fluff up the ground. You weed it. You keep it watered. Now, watered is, you keep reminding God. Remember, he said, bring me in remembrance of my word. What did he say that makes you believe that he's going to give you the prayer that you've asked for? First of all, it has to be in line with God. You can't go asking for a Cadillac. He didn't give you anywhere in the Bible that you can ask for a Cadillac and get it. But he does say you have not because you ask not. You can ask, but you may not get that one because that one is one he may or may not give you. But what is he? Healing? You pray for healing? That's a promise. You get promises out of that Bible, and you pray for those promises that he already offered us. They're yours. It's just a matter of time, a matter of waiting. I've talked too long. I've really gotten where I'm blabbermouth. I think it's because no one's watching them anyway. I'm sitting there. I can talk as long as I want because no one pays attention anyway. You guys better be watching these things. When I die, probably everybody will flock over to that YouTube and watch all my videos. I know my family will. Anyway, okay, you guys. Until next time, this is Velma Hagar Restaino telling you, buy my book, Hidden Treasures in Secret Places on Amazon.com. Velma Hagar Restaino, bidding you a blessed day and never give up on your prayers, ever. Bye.